And so the story gets deeper and deeper. We have this new softening of relations between China and the Philippines. See, there had been some tension between them over this issue in the South China Sea. It was right off of the Philippine territorial waters, and they had wanted to do exploration of their own for natural gas or whatever. But the Chinese were not very receptive to that. They thought that their claims superseded Mr. Duterte's. Now, there's a ruling in The Hague that actually overruled the Chinese and said that the Filipinos did have the right to do that. But Mr. Duterte, for some reason, didn't bring that up in his recent talks with this man. And now it seems like China is going to allow that to go forward. And you'd have to ask yourself why. You know, what could have happened lately that the Philippines could have done to facilitate life being a little bit easier for China over there? Has there been any event or anything change recently that might lead the Chinese to believe that the Filipinos, I should say, are going to be their ally in the future? You know, it's hard to say. It really is, because, you know, if you go to any travel site and look up the Philippines, the one thing they'll tell you, and this is World Nomads, the whole far of the south is a no-go zone. The areas of Mindanao, the Sulu Archipelago, and the Zamboanga Peninsula are all considered extremely dangerous, and travelers are advised not to go there. The terrorist group Moro Islamic Liberation Front has been blamed for numerous violent incidents, kidnapping, frequent clashes, blah, blah, blah. And of course, we know that Mindanao was overrun by ISIS for a time and was controlled by them. So, when you look at a map of the Philippines, you know, it's just basically a couple of big islands and a bunch of little ones. I'm just going to get this over here. This is Manila up here. This is where Subic Bay is. This is where the U.S. Navy has a pretty big presence. But down here, I have this little red dot. And I'm going to zoom in for you. Now, I would think that pretty much everyone would say that this is the far of the south. I think this is probably fair enough, the southernmost island. And we're going to zoom in to this little place called Bislig in the Philippines. I'm sure most of you probably never heard of Bislig, but strangely enough, it is the hometown of this fella. Does anybody recognize this fella? Probably not. This is Ronald Advincula, the infamous captain of the magical ship, the ACX Crystal. Seen here, chilling out with the shades on by the waterfront. You know, he's probably been under a lot of stress, and he's probably going to miss being the captain of such a magical ship that it can do 180-degree turns in 8 minutes, fully loaded, you know, and just magically change direction on the drop of a hat and do all sorts of crazy things, you know, but he's never really probably going to have to worry about being the captain of a ship again after this event. But my guess is that the Philippine government has taken care of him to the extent that he probably won't ever have to worry about that, with the help of the Chinese, of course. So I wonder, how could a man like this feel so comfortable and so safe in a place down here like this that is overrun with ISIS and overrun with Islamic Liberation Front people? I mean, why would he, of all the places he could go in the world, go to this place that is so incredibly dangerous because of Islamic fundamentalism? It's just another strange coincidence that keeps cropping up in this investigation into the attack on the USS Fitzgerald. So, I don't know what you folks think about this, but I have my own opinions. But I think we can probably put the puzzle pieces together on this one now. That Chinese, with the help of the Filipinos. You know, folks have come to the videos and said, boy, you have a lot of theories. We have a lot of different angles we have to explore because we can no longer trust our own authorities, our own investigative people to give us the straight truth about what happened. And basic common sense tells you that right now. You know, the idea that the Muslims, the terrorists, the Chinese, and the Filipinos could all be working together. It's not that far-fetched, folks. It really isn't. If you think about the Japanese and the Nazis in World War II, those two groups of people could not have been more diametrically opposed in the way they saw the world, but they were fighting side by side. The Soviets, the communists, and American imperialist capitalists fighting on the same side in World War II. You know, it happens. Allies, alliances happen between people that you wouldn't think. And it's only through the lens looking back that we can see why things like that happen. And our grandchildren are probably going to look back at this and go, how did they not see this coming? There were flags going up everywhere on this, but I'm not going to waste a whole bunch more of your time. But anyway, new buddies, Duterte and Jinping. So like, share, subscribe. I just want to take the last 20 seconds here to say thank you so much to everyone. I really appreciate it. I am totally humbled. I had no idea that this channel was going to take off this way and do this well, but it is because of you and the polite, intelligent, thoughtful conversation, everybody bringing their experience and wisdom together. The trolls have almost all disappeared because I think at this point they realize they're not going to make any headway. So we will continue. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. We will see you next time.